Right, today, Rebecca, for the first time, is going to be trying probably one of the world's most expensive foods, which is abalone, also known as Haliotis tuberculata, the green ormer, or simply put, sea snails. But first, we've got to head down the beach and catch them. Now, the first frame of when we walk down the beach, it's going to be quite windy on the camera, but it will improve after that. So let's see how we got on. Then we'll go and prepare them, and then we'll have the taste test. Well, as you can see, we're walking down the beach, fully waded up, fully luminescent jacketed. We're going after abalone, and it's very windy. The sea's quite rough, and hopefully we can get some ormers. But we'll get back to you in a minute, because I haven't got the windsock for the camera either, which is always awkward when you're in these sort of conditions anyway. But hopefully you can hear us, and hopefully you'll see what goes on. So we'll get back to you in a minute. First one we've seen, just a little one. Flip that and that one while you're waiting. No.
Oh, look.
That's prawn, yeah. I was on about prawn nets.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big prawn.
Yeah, you will see some like that. Look, look.
Well, yep. Let's have a look over there.
That'll be the first one. I think that'll be legal. Only just, but it'll be legal. I think. Could be wrong. Yep, it's legal.
Excellent. Wow. Look at that. Troy has been busy. Brilliant. That's what they look like on the underside. That foot there, that's what they cling on with. Certainly don't look edible, do they? Yeah! See, if you weren't fit, you will be.
The black rocks are horrible.
Yeah, sure.
They're also
oh, lovely. Excellent. See, I do stand a chance because that's the size of the rock I can lift. Still
grab it.
Yeah.
Runs away.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I see, look at that one.
Yeah, it's on the side, eh? So this is that one.
grab there.
Put in the bag, we'll look at the bait. You can throw back any little ones you don't want. I could say, turned out nice. It's absolutely chucking it down now. We're finished now, we're just counting up and gauging everything. You can see we've had a good haul. And that's a beauty.
Yeah.
Absolute cracker, that one. Yeah, there's a couple like that. There was a couple.
See how the shell is starting to break up?
That's it. And eventually it eats through and the Ormer dies, so they don't get a lot bigger, you see. It's a sponge that eats the shell away. But now we came down here for a feed and we got one hell of a feed. But there is going to be 6 of us with the family and Rebecca. This will be the first time Rebecca's ever tried. Look, she's a bit damp, look.
I can't wait, I tell you.
She's loving it.
So it might not look like it, drowned, but I'm really enjoying myself. It's so much fun.
So anyway, like I said, we've got enough for the family, and also a friend of mine wanted some, so I'll give him a shout when I get home, and he'll get a nice feed as well. But like I say, right now we're just going to gauge them up. Anything too small or right on the limit we'll throw back, and we'll just keep the bigger stuff. I'd say let those go. Okay. They are sized, but I'd rather just not bother. So we've got plenty here, so we don't need them. So anyway, we're going to put those ones back there because one is undersized, the other 3 are sized, but they're just about sized, so we're not going to bother with those. We'll pop those back under a rock and give them a chance to grow a bit bigger. Right, let's get going. Right. Still smiling.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, you like wind? How's about less of some wind? In the middle of a storm now. Well, as you can see, they're in the tray from the night before. They're all clung to the sides. They're perfectly happy in there. I've just actually turned the pump off so it doesn't make a lot of noise. But nice big one in the corner there, tucked up. As you can see that one, move the light across. Right there, what a beauty that one is. But they're all half decent size, so a successful trip. Yeah, so here we are in the shed. We went, the Ormering trip was yesterday. We've actually had a good night's sleep, feel a bit achy after that trip. And as you would have seen, we've got the Ormers in the tank, so there's no rush to cut them up and all that. And we'll be doing that later. And right now, we're going to have a chat with Rebecca and see what she thought of her first Ormering trip. What did you think of the trip down the beach then? Because I know you've been itching to get down there.
Yeah, I have. I've been waiting for so long to go, and I'm so pleased that we went. You know, I know that there's only a few tides that you can go on, so I mean the time was limited. So whatever the weather, we were going to go.
And what was the? How did it feel wearing waders? Because I know you haven't worn waders before. That was a new experience. It was like being in a condom, wasn't it?
Oh, stop it! How would I know what that felt like? No, I mean, you know, I didn't know whether they're going to be restricted or not. But I'll tell you one thing that happened is when you're about just over up to your thighs in waders and you're walking along and you lose your balance, you can't get your feet back underneath you. So you're like 3 or 4 steps where you're just about to fall over. So. You
almost become buoyant because you get this uplift. And if you go really deep, it'll feel like your feet are almost lifting off the ground when you get really deep, although we didn't go that deep. And the other thing you've got to watch is swell. Because the swell will push you around if you're standing too far out, and you can end up filling up your waders, which it hasn't happened to me yet. You've got a few seconds if you fall in to get out before your waders fill. So
yeah, well, I was pleased to be able to lift up some of those really heavy rocks. Well, they were heavy to me.
Yeah. So was it what you expected? I know you've obviously watched the videos on pulling rocks over and that. And was it what you expected, or did you find it harder or easier, or what did you think?
Not the pulling of the rocks, because I used to do that as a child. I mean, years ago, Portland and all that, I used to be doing all that sort of thing. But no, what I was surprised about is actually the number of ormers there were. I mean, I found a little tiny one. It couldn't have been any bigger than my little fingernail. Yeah. And also all the different sizes. I think I might have pulled over rocks and dismissed them because they were, to me, they looked too small, but in actual fact, they probably were. But now
you see why it's important to get the rocks back over with all that life. The small ormers, they need to go on the side they're on. They don't want to be going under a rock that's got rotting weed on it. And
yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, if I saw one that was the size of my fingernail, there would be others which were tiny, tiny little seeds that you couldn't see. So, you know, it is important, I think, to restore their environment.
And did you get really excited when you saw an ormer when you flipped?
Oh, well, I'm going to say it was a while before I found my first one. I was turning over rock after rock after rock, and I thought, oh, Troy wouldn't have found any either. And when I said, oh, have you got any yet? And he said, yeah, just a few. And there was I don't know, maybe 6. And I thought, no, I'm never going to find one. I thought, oh, he's planted these, but no.
Yeah. It's just experience knowing which rocks to pull and which not to pull. And it takes time. Everybody who comes along for the first time will struggle a little bit. I mean, some get lucky, but other times it's just literally knowing which rock to pull, because there's a lot of rocks and you can increase your odds by knowing the exact rock you want. And until you know the Ormer itself or the Abalone,
that's it.
Like I say, it all comes in time. Next time you go, you'll probably be hauling them out left, right and centre.
Won't leave any for you then.
No, none for me.
I mean, the weather wasn't at its best, as you probably will see in the video. Terrible. It was driving rain in the end, but nothing was going to stop me going. I was so looking forward to it. Yeah, brilliant.
Anyway, we are now going to go and prepare those ormers and cook them up, and that'll be coming for you any minute now. And there are the ormers that we'll be keeping ourselves. A friend came up and picked up the ormers I got for him. And these ones will be prepared, and it'll be the first time Rebecca has ever tried them. So that will be interesting. So let's get on and get these cooked up. Right, you get yourself an ormer, like that. You want the big end of the shell by the fingers. Okay. You want a rounded knife, because some of these shells can get brittle as they get old, and you can push through into your hand, so rounded knife. Then what you do is you go under the back here, you do that, like that, put your knife down, and you pull back against them like that. And you leave the guts in the shell, and there's your ormer. And that's how you de-shell them. Now, sometimes the guts will come off on the ormer, and you just have to cut them away. But afterwards, you can do that around the shell, tip your guts out, and there you are, nice clean shell as well. If you want to keep pretty shells.
Yeah, I was going to say, would people like to see that? How nice that mother of pearl looks like inside. Iridescent, shiny shell. Look at that. Let's try a smaller one, that may be easier. So again, that bit there, underneath the skirt.
That's it. You'll get your own technique whether you go up or down with it. You just got to pop that. That's it. That's perfect. And then grab this like that, and then down, and then just pull it. And the guts usually stay behind. Sometimes they will pull off, but it's not a problem if they pull off. You just use a knife. So there you go. And that's how you do that.
Yeah.
Easy. Right, well, there are the Ormers. They've been soaking in bicarbonate of soda overnight, so now they're going to be scrubbed up. There you go, nice and clean.
More there. Well, a good piece of bacon.
Right, now it's all ready for the oven. Right, well, this is just a little taster of the Ormer that's been fried. It's only been fried, this one. We're basically going to try it fried, and then later, when it's all cooked, she's going to have the big test of eating it casseroled. So let's see first reaction and first taste of somebody who's never eaten Ormer before. What do they think of it fried?
Totally unexpected. Totally unexpected, that is. Yeah, it really has a meaty flavour, that does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the texture actually, which is the more interesting part. Yeah. You might think it would be tough, but it's not. You can chew into it.
It's not tough like old boots, but it does have that bouncy, springy. There are parts of it that are quite chewy.
Yeah.
That's the skirt of the Ormer, the outer edge of the Ormer. Like the inner part is always softer than the outer.
Yeah. That's I have tried whelks before actually, and I'd say quite similar to that, but not by the flavour of them. I can't say that because it's cooked in the bacon, and I think that has an element of the flavour crossing over. But I can't wait for the casserole. I have to say, I mean that was delicious. I love shellfish anyway.
Right, well the casserole is going to be coming up for you right about now. Right, now this picture's a little bit dark, but that's because this conservatory has mood lighting. So, anyway, this is going to be Rebecca's first taste test of casseroled Ormers, done the traditional way, which has been done for hundreds of years, and recipe that's been handed down through my great grandparents and down to us. So knock yourself out. Here we go. What's she going to think?
Oh, I can't wait for this. Wow, what an honour.
Probably one of the most expensive meals in the world.
Well, the first thing from what I tried earlier, the fried one, this is so tender. All of that bite has gone. That's just melts in the mouth. That does. Yeah. And you just try another piece. I can't believe that, how tender that is.
Yeah, total difference, say, from the fried. You don't get that chewiness, yeah?
You know what you're talking about, you do.
Yeah, and what about the flavour? The flavour versus the fried as well?
It's a totally different flavour, actually. I think everything has just all blended together, and that initial flavour I had before, which was, it's hard to describe it. It was quite a strong, rich, fishy taste that's blended away completely. In fact, if you didn't know that was a shellfish, I don't think you, if you had to guess, I don't think you would know that was a fish at all, really, shellfish at all.
Now the big question is, would you want to eat more and get more?
Give me the whole casserole, I think. Yeah, definitely.
So,
oh, I'll tell you, I'm so pleased this is just a once a year thing, because it makes it so special with the tides.
no,
and
once or
everything.
twice a year.
Yeah.
But
well,
yes, it is only a couple of times
season,
a year when
yeah.
the tides are right. Yeah.
Oh, let's just
Right.
get on and eat
Right.
it.
Yeah, we're going to go because I'm going to tuck in as well. So we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah.